This is more of the contiguous raglan thing, and the current challenge is attaching a pre-made collar and having it not look like that. I think that looks horrible. The stitch itself is pretty, but the fact that it curls would really irritate me. So this is, I want to talk about this too, but not yet. I'll get back to that. This is the short rows on the back, and if they're not done the right way, and you're knitting a really firm fabric, you get that, and I think that's really ugly. But I'll deal with that later. I already have a solution for that. I'll deal with it later. So here we go. You can see I've got increases incorporated in this as well, and I think that looks really attractive. You have to pretend that this is a V-neck coming down and that I only did part of it, so make that pretense with me. So here is the contiguous raglan shoulder attached to a pre-knit collar, and I think that looks really good. I like that really well. I could live with that, and it doesn't do that bow thing that this does. I just really dislike that. But I think this looks pretty good. You can tell I missed an increase right there, but this is a play object, test object, not something that's going to get used. But I like this really well. This is pretty easy to do, and I think that's fairly attractive. I don't know. I may work on it later, but I like it pretty good. So here we go. Here's the real deal. This is actually the yarn I'm going to use when I eventually get to the point where I make my sweater. And I like this pretty well. I think it looks really, really good. You can see this is the part of the collar that I haven't incorporated yet. And this is where I've incorporated it. I think it looks really well. Now here's the change. You see I don't have that sort of ugly lump on the back. You see that? I don't like that. Alright, so here is the deal. I started my short rows toward the center back. This is the center back of my sweater. I started the short rows toward the center back, and I moved 3 each time. When you start your short row for shaping the back neck here, it does a line of stitching like this that causes this to pooch. That's what we're seeing on the other sweater. So if you start your short row at the point closest to the center third, see, I can start it at probably right there. If I had to guess, I'd say right there. And what I did was, because your number of stitches for your back increases every other row, you can space your short rows for shaping your back farther apart, or you can put them rows farther apart and avoid that. If you don't do a stiff fabric, that's not an issue, but I can feel my line of increases turns is right there. So that's what I'm working on. That's the latest. I like it. I think that'll work.